An Axelrod here, the confidence coach. Welcome to the confidence zone. Today, I am inordinately excited. If you have been following me on my personal Facebook page, where I encourage you to find me under the name Susan Axelrod, you will know that I started a daily-ish log of what I'm focusing on this year: nutrition, hydration, input, and output. So what is input? Input to me, in my definition, is what I'm putting into my mind, because it's what we put into our mind that goes down to our heart. It's what we think, the thoughts that we think, that dictate what we feel. And so I'm very careful about the input that I put into my mind. About a year ago, my daughter Rebecca introduced me to Dr. Andrew Huberman. He is a neuroscientist who has a personal mission of offering free science, free quality education about science. He talks about every topic. it's it's so good. He talks about every topic and has incredible researchers and presents a lot of scientific studies, a scientific basis for the information he's sharing with us. Some time ago, he did a 4-part series with Dr. Paul Conti, a psychiatrist who has been the chief psychiatrist of Harvard Medical School and then went back out west to start up a psychiatric practice for psychiatric disorders. And he didn't just interview Dr. Conti for 30 minutes. He didn't even just interview Dr. Conti for an entire hour episode. He spent more than 12 hours over this 4-part episode interviewing and chatting with and seeking and exploring with his amazing intellectual curiosity in the area of your personal mental health. And he starts out the entire series by asking a simple question: what is good mental health? What does that even actually look like? So one of the reasons I love what I have discovered is that Dr. Conti's answer is part of what I organically learned, gained, gleaned, processed, and integrated myself over my 25-year journey to enlightenment. And his response was, good mental health is when you have gratitude and agency. So I was late to the gratitude game, and I'm not the person who comes to you every day and talks about gratitude. But surely, if you follow me or read any of my books, you'll know the story about how I started my own gratitude practice so many years ago, for being grateful for the simplest, minute things in my life. But the other area that he calls agency is something that you hear me talk about. A few years ago, 2 years ago, I think I created a graphic, a meme on personal agency. And it's something I talk about all the time with my clients and with my friends who will listen to me. So when he said that, I was like, holy shit. I really honestly couldn't believe it. So I'm in the intuitive business system, as you know. And so I did have that holy shit response. And then I was like, why am I surprised? My clients are showing me every day in every way, the way they thank me and grow and rise in their work with me, that I am in my intuition space. And agency is one of those areas, and also one of my own personal reasons. So I started out by saying I'm inordinately excited because I knew that he had done this 4-part series, and I kind of looked for them, and the part that came into my feed was the second part. And so I was like, okay, I guess I'll start with the second part. I guess that's intended. And so that, I think, was like 2 hours and 45 minutes. I listened to every word, and sometimes I scrolled back and listened to parts of it again. This happens over multiple days of my dog walking or driving places. And I even shared it with a few clients, and I know one of my clients listened to it and had the same response I did. So today, with intention, because I know I'm going to be driving multiple hours in the next 2 days, I looked for the first part of the episode, and I have it kind of queued up so that I can listen to it in the car and on my walks. This one episode is 3 hours and 45 minutes, and I can't wait for that input to go into my mind so I can begin to process it and feel the experience of learning this scientific information. And so, and then I'm going to listen to episode number 2 again. This is a lot of dense material, so it's awesome, but I'm definitely going to listen to episode number 2 again, and then 3 and 4. Now, I'm not going to be able to do this in a week's time. It's more than 12 hours worth of listening. And because it's important, I take some time in between, and I listen to it when I can, and I like to think I might even take some notes, but I'm like receiving and processing this in real time. So anyway, that's me. That's what I'm doing these days. That's my input. What's your input? And that's not to say that I don't also binge watch, a show at night. By the end of the night after my day, I'm okay with bringing down the energy, sitting, watching mindless entertainment on television. But that's only because I've really had good, solid input during the day. I've also had good output during the day because that I walk every day, and, I go to the gym a few times a week, etc. So what are you inordinately excited about from what you're listening to? And how's that working for you? This is called input. What's yours? How are you tending to your input? If anything that I've talked about is of interest to you, just go ahead and Google Huberman. In December, his podcast became the #1 in the world. So there's lots of others. And some of you have shared that with me on my LinkedIn or Facebook page, which I appreciate. I've listened to some of your recommendations, and I've grown and learned from them. I'm always interested in that. So that's it for today in the confidence zone, friends. What's your input? How's it serving you? How's your gratitude and agency? That's what makes for good mental health, friends. How mentally healthy are you? And for me, what I say to that is I go under the surface and ask, how emotionally healthy are you? And if you think this doesn't apply in business, you're wrong. It applies completely 100% in business. All right, friends, that's it for today in the Confidence Zone. To those who celebrate, Shabbat Shalom, and to everyone else, I hope you have a wonderful weekend.